Good morning, students. In the second lesson, you have learnt about the political economic situations of the world countries after the World War I. Today, you are going to learn about a new lesson in history, that is World War II. From this picture itself, you can understand that the causes, the course of the war, as well as the results of the war. The Second World War was fought between 1939 to 1945. Can you guess, students, what is this speech about? Yes, this is a motivational speech delivered by Sir Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of Britain, to the British Army during the World War II. From this speech, you can sense the hatred and the warist mindset of the leader of the nation coming out from himself. We have already seen one world war, that is World War I, in the European continent that was fought between 1914 to 1918. Now, again the World War II started from the year 1939 and ended in 1945. They are referred as world wars because of the extended areas of the conflict as well as the high death rate of the civilians. Both the wars were fought on several fronts across Europe, Asia, as well as in Africa. The total death toll was 24 million military personnel and nearly 50 million people were killed in this war. The financial cost of the war also is very higher than that of the First World War. The end of the Second World War signaled a change in the world order and political changes among the various powers. Like the First World War, in the Second World War also, the European continent is divided into two warring groups, that is, Axis powers and the Allied powers. In the First World War, it was called by the name Triple Alliance and Triple Entente. Likewise, in the Second World War also, there are two groups of nations. They are Axis powers and the Allied powers. The Axis countries are Germany, Japan and Italy. The Allied powers were France, Britain, Russia and the United States. More than 103 countries were involved in the World War II. Now let us see the causes of the World War II. Like the First World War, the Second World War also has so many causes. The historians, they said that the results of the First World War itself was the cause for the World War II. We can see this pictures, the diplomats of the warring nation, that is the Prime Minister and Presidents of the various European powers. First person, Great Britain, Sir Winston Churchill, he was the Prime Minister of Britain during the Second World War. He was a British politician, army officer, a great orator and a writer. He was the Prime Minister of Britain from the year 1940 to 1945. Before that, Neville Chamberlain, he was the Prime Minister, but after his resignation, he became the Prime Minister of Britain, who led Britain to victory in the Second World War. The next personality, F.D. Roosevelt. He was the President of USA. He became the President in the year 1933. Till 1945, he was the US President, and he was commonly known as FDR by the people of USA. He was the person who brought Lawrence to USA. That is, during the time of economic depression, he gave confidence to the people of USA that he will introduce so many welfare measures in order to set right the depression. You have learnt already about the Great Economic Depression in the second lesson. You know that what is the meaning for the word the economic depression. That is a setback in the economy of America that affected the whole world. Even though he was affected by polio, he traveled all over the country and gave confidence and spoke to the people, and he recovered America from its depression. That is, he became the president in the year 1933. By 1940 itself, that is, he recovered America from its depression. So he was elected as the president of America for more than 2 terms. That is, more than 10 years he was the president of USA. So during the wartime, he gave support to the Allied powers, especially to Britain. The next personality, the French president Charles de Gaulle. He was a French army officer and statesman who led the French resistance against Nazi Germany in World War II. His famous quotes are, "Silence is the ultimate weapon of power." He remained as the president of France for more than 10 years. During his period, the French economy boomed and the country had fully recovered from World War II after 1945. Here you can see in this slide the Joseph Stalin, the Soviet politician who led the Soviet Union from 1920 to 1953 as the General Secretary of the Communist Party of Soviet Union after Vladimir Lenin. He led his Red Army, helped Nazi Germany during the World War II. His famous quotes are, "I believe in one thing only, the power of human will. Truth is powerful and it prevails." He was against Germany. He signed a non-aggression pact with Germany during the wartime. Benito Mussolini. He was an Italian politician and journalist who was the leader of the National Fascist Party. You have learnt in the previous lesson about Benito Mussolini. In the early period, he was a journalist, and after that, by seeing the prevailing economic situation in Italy after the First World War, he became the ruler of Italy in the year 1922. He was believed in the principle called fascism. Fascism means bundle or group. It was a symbol of triumph and strength. He believed in the charismatic leadership. As charismatic leadership means a skillful leader who has the power to rule, control the nation, and it believes in one party. Hideki Tojo, he was a Japanese politician who served as Prime Minister of Japan. He was the general of the Imperial Japanese Army during the World War II. He was very famous for his attack on Pearl Harbor. That is the Pearl Harbor attack we will see in the later stage, that is in the course of the war. So he was only responsible for the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Okay, he is a very well-known personality. You have already known about this character. He was Adolf Hitler of Germany. Early life of Hitler you might have learned in the earlier classes. Anyhow, I am telling again, that is Adolf Hitler. He was born in Austria, and his father was a customs officer, a strict man, and mother was a housewife. In his early period, he got education, and he was very interested in fine arts. So he was a very good painter at his young age, and he, after the death of his father, he painted so many portraits and sold in the streets of Austria at that time. That is Germany involved in the First World War. So he joined in the army of Austria and took part in the First World War as a soldier. And when Germany was defeated in the First World War in the year 1918, he heard about the Treaty of Versailles. That is, the Treaty of Versailles was signed between the victorious powers and Germany. He heard about the humiliation that was given by the world powers to Germany, and he was very much affected. So after he was wounded and he was hospitalized. So after that he came back to Austria, and again he continued as a soldier, and he saw the prevailing economic situation in Germany. It was utter confusion because Germany was humiliated, so he wanted to join in that is Socialist Party. Later it was named as Nazi Party in the year 1919. His principle was known as Nazism, and he gathered a group of people, and they were called by the name Red Shirts. And know that Hitler, he was a very good speaker, so because he was a very great orator, he influenced the people of Germany, and he wanted to start a revolution that is called as Beer Hall Revolution. For that, the government of Germany arrested him, and he was put in the prison. During the time in the prison, he wrote the book called his own autobiography, known as Mein Kampf, My Struggle. So after that, he has chosen to, that is, he wanted to contest in the election, and he won in the election. His party won in the election, and he became the Chancellor of Germany in the year 1933. So from the year 1933 to 1945, he became the Chancellor as well as the dictator of Germany. So as soon as he became the Chancellor of Germany, he has chosen that is his own emblem for his party, that is the swastika emblem, that we will discuss later. So swastika banners, you can see in the dress, that is army code, the swastika emblem. So after Hitler, that is, has chosen the swastika emblem in the year 1930, that is it was this swastika emblem is considered as a symbol for the that was considered as auspicious emblem symbol by the Indian religions as well as the Western religion. Western people also, they have chosen the swastika emblem. But after Hitler has chosen the swastika emblem, that is they all that is left, and it was only for the Nazism. They considered only for Nazism this symbol. Now we are going to see about the root causes of the World War II. The Treaty of Versailles ended the World War I between Germany and the Allied powers is a major cause of the war. Next one, the failure of the League of Nations, that is the peace organization which was started after the First World War. Third one is the Japanese expansion against China. Fourth one, the fascism. Fifth one, Hitler and the Nazi Party. And next one, the Great Depression. These are the major causes of the World War II. We are going to see one by one how these causes are responsible for the Second World War. Now the Treaty of Versailles, that is you have seen already, learnt already about the Treaty of Versailles that ended the First World War. So we will recall once again. So in the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was insulted to a greater extent by the European powers. You know that especially three of the classes, that is three important classes are responsible for the insultation given to Germany by the European powers. The first one, German territories were taken away and given to the victorious powers. That is especially Alsace and Lorraine. These two territories were given to the Allied powers, that is France. And the second one is it was not allowed to have a very big army. The army was very much limited. They should not have a very big army. And the third one is it was asked to pay a huge sum of money as war indemnity or war reparation. So all the overseas territories of Germany were also taken, and it was shared among the victorious powers. Simply we can say that Germany was like a bird without any wing. So it cannot fly again. Like that it was insulted in the Treaty of Versailles. This was a main cause for the Second World War. The primary aim of the League of the Nations was to preserve peace and security in the world. You know that it was initiated by the President of America at that time, Woodrow Wilson. Even though America initiated the League of Nations, it was not a member, it did not join as a member in the League of Nations. That itself is a failure for the League of Nations. Although the League of Nations does not have a permanent army on its own to implement its policies. For example, when Japan invaded Manchuria in the year 1931, when it was severely warned by the League, it cancelled its membership and came out from the League of Nations. The League did not know what to do. So that is it has to depend upon its member countries for help, and moreover the league was expected to mediate between countries and take action against countries which indulge in military action, but it cannot do anything. So the league remained as an ineffectual international body. From the time of First World War itself, the Japanese people, they wanted to follow an aggressive policy. They wanted to become a very big imperial power. So in the East, Japan was following a policy of military expansion. So already I told you it captured Manchuria and it invaded China and seized Peking, and then it captured from Russia the Port Arthur as well as the Liaotong Peninsula. So we can see that the Japanese expansion in the Far East. Now here in this map also you can see the Japanese expansion, that is capturing Manchuria, Mongolia, part of that is Russia, like that we have shown in the map. Now this you have to ask one question: why Japan joined with Germany? That is Japan, Italy and Germany, all the three big nations, they joined together and they formed an alliance. Now, why Japan joined with Germany? In the year 1930, both the countries adopted aggressive militaristic attitude towards their respective regions. This led to a rapprochement and eventually a political and military alliance that included Italy also, that was called as the Axis powers, and they gave a name, Rome, Berlin, Tokyo Axis, and they joined their hands with each other and they entered into the Second World War. The rise of Hitler and the Nazi Party was the main reason for the Second World War. You know that already. He became, already I told you about Hitler. He became the chancellor in 1933. He was called by the name Führer. Führer means leader. The people, they called him as leader, because in the early stages after the First World War, he was the person who made Germany a very big, powerful country in the world. So it recovered again after its defeat in the First World War. So Hitler made Germany to Hitler made Germany a very big, powerful country in the world. He founded the National Socialist Party, generally known as the Nazis. The fundamental platform on which Hitler built his support was the notion of the racial superiority of the Germans as a pure Aryan race and a deep-seated hatred of the Jews. He was very much hated against the Jews, that we will see in the later chapter about the Jewish people, how they were ill-treated by Hitler. They were put in the concentration camps as well as in the gas chambers. It was called by the name Holocaust. You might have heard about these words. And Hitler, that is, he was hated against the Jews, and but he was the person who made Germany a powerful country in the world. He led Germany to the Second World War in order to take revenge against Britain. Now you can see in this picture the Nazi emblem, that is the swastika symbol. This swastika symbol is in black color, that is encircled, and it has a red background. That time it was color of the German flag, white, black, white as well as red, but later it was changed. So here are some information about Hitler. You can go through. That is, they are saying that Hitler was hatred of women. He did not like women. He told that women are only childbearing machines and they are only comfort to the kitchen. That much extent he was hatred against the women. And but at the last days, no, during his last days, he married his personal PA Eva Braun. That one story they are telling that her eyes resembles the eyes of his mother. For that reason only, he married that Eva Braun. And finally, in the year 1945, both of them they committed suicide when the Allied powers entered Germany. These pictures shows that how Hitler influenced the people of Germany. He was a good speaker, that is a great orator. That is the historians they are telling that Hitler had a sharp eyesight. Within a fraction of the second, he can cover at least 20,000 people. He was very strict. His order was final. If anybody against his words, they will be guillotined. That is a machine that will cut the head of the particular person. Now we can see the relationship between Hitler and Mussolini, how they joined together in the Second World War. Their ideologies are same. Originally a revolutionary leader of the fascist movement, Mussolini, he became the leader of Italy, allied himself with Adolf Hitler during World War II. Mussolini believed that Italy could expand its influence in Europe by allying with Germany against France. So he joined with the Nazi leader Hitler and signed a pact with Germany. Now we can go through the military aggressions of Hitler. How Hitler has cancelled his membership from the League of Nations, and 1936 he invaded the Rhineland. Rhineland, you can see in this map, there's a borderland between Germany and France. The Rhineland, it is considered as a demilitarized zone. Demilitarized zone means no country should station their army. It is considered as an independent region. But Hitler violated that and he captured Rhineland in the year 1936. Then in the year 1937, he joined with Italy as well as Japan and signed an alliance called Rome-Berlin-Tokyo Axis. It was an agreement or a pact signed between Italy, Germany and Japan. Then in the year 1938, Hitler invaded Austria and Czechoslovakia. And 1938, Hitler wanted to annex Sudetenland, a German-speaking land in Czechoslovakia, that we will see later. And 1939, war on Poland. And after the war on Poland, the Second World War started. Now we are going to see how Hitler annexed Sudetenland, that is in the year 1938. Now you can see the powers, the world powers, that is the Axis countries and the Allied countries in this map. In spite of all these military activities of Germany, Italy and Japan, Britain and France continue to be non-interventionist. That is, they are not bothered about whatever happened in the European continent. Especially, they did not check the activities of Hitler. Prime Minister of Britain at that time, Baldwin and Chamberlain. That is, before Sir Winston Churchill, Baldwin and Chamberlain, they were the Prime Ministers of Britain. They did not feel justified in intervening in a region which was not officially in their sphere of interest. That is, they did not bother about the activities of Hitler. The US also totally in a difficult as well as in the different world. There were depression in USA, so they are very much concerned with the revival of their economy. So they did not bother about the activities of Hitler. So that policy was called by the name policy of appeasement or non-intervention. Now here in this picture we can see Hitler signed the Munich Pact with the Prime Minister of Britain. As I told earlier, in the year 1938, Prime Minister Chamberlain concluded the Munich Pact with Germany. That is, according to that, Hitler was allowed to annex Sudetenland. Sudetenland is an area in the Czechoslovakia. So German-speaking people are living there. So Hitler wanted to annex Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia. So Prime Minister Chamberlain concluded the Munich Pact with Hitler, allowing Hitler to annex Sudetenland, and he also assured that Germany would not attack any other country. But what Hitler did, he violated the Munich Pact and invaded Czechoslovakia and also annexed it within 6 months. Next, Hitler also wanted to invade Poland. That was the immediate cause of the Second World War. In spite of the Munich Pact, he violated the Munich Pact and continuously conquering one after the other in the European continent. So Britain and France got annoyed and they wanted to declare war on Germany. So in the year 1939, Hitler wanted to attack Poland. That is, the reason is, he asked the Poland government to give permission to construct a military road. That is, in order to take armaments, weapons, he demanded, he did not ask even, he demanded from the Polish government that they should allow him to construct a military road connecting Germany with East Prussia, and also demanded that surrender of Danzig. As you have learnt already in the first chapter, Danzig was announced as an international port city. But Hitler demanded from Poland it should be given to Germany. When the Poland government refused, immediately he wanted to invade Poland in the year 1939, September 1. By seeing the acts of Hitler, Britain and France joined together and they declared war on Germany in the year September 3rd, 1939. So the Second World War started soon after the war on Poland by Hitler. So we have seen the causes of we have seen the causes of the Second World War so far. Now you can see in this slide the war on Poland by Hitler. The warring method was adopted by Hitler to attack Poland. That was called by the name Blitzkrieg or the lightning strike. That was undertaken by the German Air Force by name Luftwaffe. We will learn in detail about the course of the war, that is where the battles took place in the European continent as well as in Asia, that is undertaken by Japan. So far you have seen a clear picture about the causes of Second World War. In the next class we will see the course of the war. Thank you.